All right, welcome to The Explainer. Now, if you're anywhere near the QA world, you know there's a huge debate raging right now. It's a real showdown between two giants of browser automation, and today we are going to break it all down for you.
It's the question everyone's asking, Selenium or Playwright? I mean, which one is actually going to boost your career in 2025? If you're feeling kind of stuck in the middle of this whole debate, don't worry, you are in exactly the right spot. By the time we're done here, you're going to have a super clear roadmap, tailored to you and your career goals. So let's dive in.
Okay, first things first, let's meet the contenders. Think of it like a title fight. In one corner, you've got the OG, the long reigning champ. And in the other corner, the upstart, the new challenger on the block.
So on one side, you have Selenium, the OG. This is the tool that's basically been the king of browser automation for a very long time. And on the other side, Playwright, the newcomer from Microsoft, who's been making some serious waves. Let's dig a little deeper into what makes each of them tick. So what's Selenium's story? Well, think of it as the bedrock of automation. I mean, it's been the open source standard since 2004. That is ancient in tech years. It's super dominant in big enterprise projects, the huge companies, mostly because it's so flexible. It supports a ton of languages, and its community, it's just massive. You can find an answer to pretty much any problem you run into.
And then you've got Playwright. It just burst onto the scene in 2020, and it's Microsoft's big play in the automation space. This thing was built from the ground up for the modern web. And that's why testers are kind of falling in love with it. It's fast, like really fast. And it comes packed with all these built-in features that just make life so much easier, especially when you're dealing with today's super dynamic web apps.
Okay, introductions are done. Now it's time for the main event, the head-to-head on features. We're going to do a round-by-round breakdown of the stuff that actually matters in your day-to-day work. No fluff, just the facts. This is where you really see the difference. Let's talk auto waits. If you've used Selenium, you know the pain. You have to manually code in waits to stop your tests from failing. It's tedious. Playwright, it just handles it automatically. That's a game changer. And parallel testing? With Selenium, you need to bolt on something like TestNG or use Grid. Playwright just does it right out of the box. It's also way faster and has mobile emulation built right in. But, and this is a big but, Selenium's community is huge. For those tricky legacy projects, that community support is absolutely golden. So, let's call it. What's the verdict here? For pure speed and modern convenience, Playwright takes the win. Hands down. The auto waits, the built-in stuff, it's all there to make your job less frustrating. But when it comes to community support and rock-solid stability in those big, old, complex enterprise systems, Selenium is still the undisputed champ. Its track record there is just unmatched.
Okay, so features are cool and all, but let's get real. Let's talk about what actually matters to you, your career, your job prospects, that next promotion. Which tool is going to help you get hired in 2025? The answer might not be what you think. I want you to just look at this number for a second. 300%. Seriously, a number like that, you just can't ignore it. It's a huge signal that something big is happening. The real question is, what does this number actually mean? That's the growth in jobs asking for Playwright skills in just the last 2 years. 300%. We're seeing this pop up all over the place in job descriptions. It tells you that the industry isn't just curious about Playwright anymore. They're actively hiring for it.
So what do you do with this information? Well, look, the right move for you really depends on where you are right now in your career. So we're going to break this down into a simple roadmap, whether you're a total beginner, a mid-level pro, or maybe you're switching careers or doing freelance work.
All right, if you're a fresher or just starting out, listen up. The advice here is super clear. Start with Selenium and Java, period. Why? Because it forces you to learn the fundamentals, the absolute core concepts of how automation works. Plus, it's still listed in something like 80% of QA job postings. Interviewers look for it. They see it as your foundational skill. You gotta have it.
Okay, now what about my mid-level folks? You've been in the game a while, you know your stuff. You've probably got that Selenium base. Your next power move? Learn Playwright. Seriously, this is what's gonna set you apart. All those cool startups, the fintech companies, the SaaS businesses, they're building on modern tech, and they want people with Playwright skills. It shows you're not stuck in the past, you're adaptable. And finally, for all you career switchers or freelancers out there, your world is all about hitting the ground running and being efficient, right? Playwright is going to be your best friend. It's just faster to get things done. You're writing way less setup code, which makes it perfect for those quick freelance gigs, or when you're jumping onto a new project. It's just easier to build and maintain.
So, we've looked at the tech, we've looked at the career paths. What does this all boil down to? What is the actual winning strategy for 2025? Let's cut through the noise and give you the honest, straight-up recommendation for maxing out your career growth.
Let's make this super simple. Look at your goal, and we'll tell you the tool. Want to really learn the deep fundamentals of automation? Selenium plus Java. Trying to crack an interview at a huge established company? You're going to need Selenium and TestNG. But if your goal is to join a startup or do freelance work or get a job that mixes UI and API testing, then you absolutely need to be looking at Playwright.
And this is the most important takeaway of all. This whole Selenium versus Playwright thing, it's the wrong question. The real winning strategy for 2025 isn't picking one or the other, it's learning both. You learn Selenium first to build that strong foundation and walk into any interview with confidence. And then you pick up Playwright to become future-proof. That's the combo that makes you unstoppable.
So you see, it was never really about Selenium or Playwright. It's about Selenium and Playwright. The real question isn't which one is better, it's which one do I learn first to get where I want to go. So now that you have the roadmap, you have to ask yourself, what will you learn next?